Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Caffeine After Show here at DreamHack Open Seville. My name is Freya and I'm so delighted to be joining you for my first overtime show here at DreamHack. Now, on a slightly sadder note, this is the final one of 2019, but fear not, we have got a fantastic show coming up for you. Let's take a look at what we've got in store. We're going to be taking a look at the champions of Seville. It is, of course, North after their win over Crazy. And of course, we're going to be chatting to some players what they're going to be doing after retirement. We're thinking ahead here at DreamHack. And of course, it's going to be quiz time. We are in Spain, so we have got a Spanish-themed quiz coming up for myself and the guests up here on the sofa. There is so much more coming up on the show. And of course, I have to introduce my guest joining me up here. It is, of course, Tom and Potter. How are you guys doing? You having a good time?
We're having a great time. I'm eyeballing all these treats already.
You've already had some.
Yeah,
Let's just preface it with that.
Yeah, should we bring out the one that you tried earlier?
No, we'll leave that one right there. We'll leave that one right there.
You know what I think you're looking forward to, Tom? You're looking forward to a bite of that pepper, aren't you?
Yeah.
No, I'd rather take a bite out of the bull than take a bite out of the pepper.
That would absolutely mess up your teeth. I'm not going to let you do that. But I think we're here to talk about some Counter-Strike as well, aren't we? We've had some fantastic games happening over the course of this weekend. Any highlights for you in particular?
I'm a big Crazy fan, so obviously, like, up until the final, I was enjoying myself. I was actually sat there with some of the guys as well, but North just played so well, especially going into the maps we kind of didn't expect, especially like Vertigo was the one they lost, then they win the other two, which should have been close.
Yeah, exactly. Anything from you, Potter? We've been up on the desk together sharing some memorable moments indeed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's basically North. You know, I'm a fan of great Counter-Strike, and I think that's exactly what we saw today. And I'm just excited to see exactly what they bring for 2020. If there's any changes to their style, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, speaking of 2020, there's so much already going into this. We're just coming to the end of 2019. We're seeing a couple more events coming up. But obviously, ESL Pro Tour is going to be happening in 2020. DreamHack Open is going to be leading into that as well, which is really, really exciting. There are some big changes afoot, aren't there?
Yeah, I think it makes the whole season just so much more interesting with, like, obviously all of these events leading to something else, gaining points, and sort of making it almost easier to get to, like, a lot of the goals that teams are going to have.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're going to be joined up on the sofa by two of our champions from today's games. Please give it up for Gade and Kirby.
Yay!
Welcome, guys. Take a seat. I'll perch on here.
Scooch.
Massive congratulations to you both. That was a phenomenal grand final, to say the least.
Thanks.
You guys came a very long way, though, throughout this tournament. We saw a kind of resurgence in form. What was your kind of highlight from that grand final?
Throughout the tournament?
Yeah.
I would actually say the semi-final against Mad Lions. I think we've been playing them back and forth a bit in qualifiers online, so it was just nice to set a statement and beat them here.
Yeah, exactly. What about you guys? Got any questions for our guys?
I just want to know what it's like now being an in-game leader, because obviously a lot of the time before you were doing more like entry fragging roles, I would say, and now you've moved into the leadership role of the team. Is it something you're enjoying? Is it something you're finding hard, or I don't know, like, where is it going?
Both. I enjoy it and I find it really hard, yeah. I think for me personally, it suits me better, because when I was entry fragging, I think sometimes I wouldn't say hesitated, but I kind of did some stressed pushes and stupid things, and now I can kind of take a step back and watch everything from above. So yeah, I think I find it more fitting or suiting, and yeah, I enjoy it.
I have a question for you, Kirby. Now, you've gone through multiple different in-game leaders, multiple different coaches. It's been kind of a turbulent couple years for you. What do you think has been the most challenging aspect of all of it?
Well, I think you described it pretty much. Going through a lot of changes takes time.
Yeah.
And just having to adapt all the time has been difficult. Yeah, it's hard to say something specific, but it's been a challenging year for us as a team, and yeah, also me personally. So happy to end up with a win, but we're not even close to being satisfied yet, and I hope this is just a stepping stone for us.
Yeah,
One more follow-up. Then what do you think has changed for you to be able to be as successful towards the end of this year? Has there been something that's changed, maybe a role change, or how you guys are approaching it, or is it just Gade as the new in-game leader that's making you more comfortable?
It's just Gate. No, I think it's, to be honest, it's been a mix of many things. First of all, I feel like the crew staff behind us has really been supporting us more and more. Really stepped up our game on the home front. So it's just been a matter of time before we as a team clicked and performed to some degree. As I think we can be happy today and proud, but not satisfied, if that's the right term. Yeah, I think that is mainly. It's just really underrated, and it's really important to feel the backing from your organization, and I think we really have that. And even though it's been rough results, they keep cheering us up and keep us going, you know. So it's also a win for them, and I hope they just enjoy the night home in Denmark.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, you were MVP of this tournament here. That's a pretty good way to be rounding off your 2019, right?
Yeah.
That's all you have to say
I
on
don't know
that.
what to say. I just think like the team performance was good here. Gate had some really good calls. Improved a lot. I think our vertigos was getting better and better since we had to play open qualifier. Last week, with 1 hour notice, we had to play 7 best of ones until it was 3 a.m. in the morning, and we just kept playing against up-and-coming teams to get to Katowice. Sadly, it failed in the end, but we don't talk about that. But we had a lot of vertigo practices in, and it was just, I think it paid off today against Mad Lions, because that was a difficult game for us, the semi-final, and the final was tough as well. But what do you say, Gate?
Yeah, I'm just really glad that you got the MVP. I think you deserve it really much. Yeah.
Aww. Support
But yeah,
from your
also
game
I
leader.
just
You
I
can
really
have
want
it, bro.
to win the vertigo today in the final. I feel like it's becoming a better map for us at least.
Yeah, is that kind of, we were kind of discussing this. Is that a map that you're going to be focusing on kind of going into the future? Because I absolutely love seeing you guys play on it.
Yeah, but then on the other hand, we have some really bad maps as well, so I think we kind of have to work on them as
Do
well.
you actually like the map?
Yeah, I like the map.
You do
I
like the
think-
map, okay, because there's a lot of people who don't.
Yeah.
It took us what?
It took us
20 Mirage lots in a row before we wanted to play the map.
It was like a point of no return. Our Mirage was so bad, and we said, okay, now we give this vertigo thing a try. Then we practiced it, and we couldn't really figure out what to name A and B, even though it says on the radar. And yeah, we kind of messed everything up, and then we said, okay, screw it, we just play Mirage. Then we came back after Odense, and yeah.
So what did you end up naming it, if not A and B?
No, we named it the right, but you know it's uphill, right? When you can't even remember the A and B. So that took us a couple of days, and also we tried
Some of
it.
us just, mistakenly, like, got the wrong, I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
So we called A, B, and B, A.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
Overcomplicating things there, definitely, guys. Well, thank you so much. We're going to take a little look at a quick video where we spoke to some other players that attended DreamHack in Seville about their retirement plans and what they would do after they finished playing as pro. Let's take a look at this.
I think I will be an agent for some players and maybe a coach, I don't know.
I would really like to work with esport in general, so anything around esport, then I would probably just stay in esport like forever.
I'm gonna try to keep playing the most I can, maybe until 32, 33, I don't know. But after I retire, I would like to be coach or something like that, because I love this game, you know.
I've been thinking about that a lot, what to do after this. I'm not sure what the future holds for me, but I used to study building engineering, so either go back to that, or maybe even go to a whole different subject. I think like maybe a chiropractor.
I don't know how much I'm gonna play, but if I'm gonna retire, then I will just think about some, like doing some like own stuff, like some company maybe with some clothes or something like that.
I would probably go to try myself in a coach role, you know. Maybe if I'm lack of focus or something, or I don't know, reflexes, there are younger guys who are coming. I still think I have a brain for the game.
No one has really like set the limit for when to stop, and I can't really see like why would you be slow even if you're 35. Just keep your head right and just practice it, and yeah, maybe you can play until you're 40. I don't know.
Say it first.
Some very interesting takes there. I want to pick up on yours, Gade. What was it, a building engineer or a chiropractor? Very different field.
Yeah,
Why
definitely.
those?
So before I became a professional player, I was studying for building engineering. But I think when I was in high school, I always admired the study of just biology, but yeah, the body and the physics.
Very interesting. What about you, Kirby? I mean, it's a long way off, your retirement. You've just got an MVP. But what are you going to be doing once your time as a player kind of ends?
It's a good question. First of all, I don't have an engineering degree, anything close to that. But I think, even though I believe I have many years left, I'm not quite sure if I want to stay within esports. It depends where it is in, let's say, 5-10 years or how long it takes me, right? But at some point I would like to explore the world and do something else than just esports. But if I stay, it would be some kind of management or psychologist kind of ways. It's psychology in general is something I'm really interested in, and I think that it's a nice thing.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, you could set up a little business together, you know, Gade and Kirby going into it. I'm going to come to you guys. What would you be doing if you weren't being analysts?
Well, I think the obvious choice for me would be modeling, right?
I mean, yeah.
You can see I've got the looks, the
beautiful
body.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
A hair model.
I think I can pull anything off at this point.
I'd buy a boat and disappear somewhere. You know, just fish.
That's
go
it.
fishing
So,
for the
so you're
rest
just
of my
going to
life.
make loads of money
Yeah,
and then
I would just live off of fish.
Live off the land.
Yeah.
I quite like
I feel like
that.
you're doing that already.
Bushcraft, you know? Kind of. I am somewhat.
You just need some garlic to go with it, and then you're all good.
Exactly.
Well, would anybody like to try some of our Spanish snacks we've got on offer? You know, we've got some cheese, we've got some ham. You can help yourself to anything. We've got some biscuits. Potter's already had some biscuits. Do you want to give a review out of 10?
Don't eat this one, guys. If you're going to choose one, don't eat that one.
Do you feel like...
It kind of look really old to me. Or
It's fresh. It's fresh.
Has expired or something.
How is it, Tom?
You want a
is it
tomato
good?
or something?
very
Onion,
dry.
maybe?
Very dry.
Very
I told you, it sucks out all the saliva in your
Well,
mouth.
we can follow up with some drinks later,
weird.
but you kind of spoke about it in that video there, Gade. You were talking about kind of, you don't see necessarily there's a certain age to
No creative
retire.
time.
Why is that?
Yeah, I just don't think that we have seen anyone retire who retired because of them not being good enough, right? As I mentioned here in the interview, I said Forrest, right? He's a father and he's like 32 and still, out there booming. So I can't see why myself or Kirby couldn't play until we're like late 30s.
Yeah. I think it's more a matter of priorities when you grow older. Maybe you want to have kids and want to spend time with them. So yeah, the physical and reaction kind of point of view hasn't really been explored yet, you could say.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us up on this stage. And once again, a huge congratulations for lifting the trophy here in Sevilla. I hope you've had a fantastic time. Now, we've seen a lot of incredibly stellar plays throughout this tournament, but there have been a few fails as well. Let's take a look at our top 3 fails of Seville.
I think that's one of them.
Oh, no.
Oh, you got it on me.
You guys can go.
Congrats, guys.
Congratulations.
Oh, no.
Oh, look at this.
That was actually ridiculous. He misses his Zeus and then goes for the knife. Oh, boy. There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us up here, guys.
It's so fitting that that just happened with the fails
with the
video.
fails, yeah.
Wrecked the side of my trousers with flour.
Just one after the other. I'm sorry, Tom.
You're enjoying yourself there, Potter.
Yeah, this one is good.
Okay,
This
I
is
might
I
try
trust
it.
you at this point.
It's
I
nice
think-
and crumbly.
Tom,
I can
you've
see that.
Okay, we've got fail number 2 coming up. Let's take a look at what this one could be. After that Miss Zeus, let's take a look. Oh, okay, this is a team
Oh,
kill.
no, I remember this.
And he stared at him for
Right?
so long.
You can see. He
The
can
funny
totally
thing is about
see.
this is that was them with 5 USPs actually winning a round, and they got a TK in the middle of it, and he then kills the last man. So he kind of made up for it. But I remember, I think it was on Dust 2 at the last event as well. He killed ships after he got 3 kills and then lost the round in a Mac 10 battle. So if he
no.
recreated that, I think that would have just been brutal for Lenny. But thankfully, it all went well.
Yeah,
Feels bad,
exactly.
man.
Well, let's take a look at our fail number 1.
number
This is
one.
going to be a big one. I'm expecting good things from this. as this is another team kill. And look, he takes the weapon as well. That BM.
Yoink.
That's what he wanted all along. He's like, I don't want this water gun Galil.
It's like, oh, whoops, I killed you.
Slip of the finger. It's happened to the best of us, hasn't it? Definitely.
This is beautiful.
The many emotions of Neil. I think that's one of actually my highlights from this entire tournament. It's just Neil's reaction.
I feel like that's the
to
highlight of
everything.
every tournament is Neil's reactions. It's beautiful.
There's a lot of B-roll. I mean, we always have
Yeah.
enough footage and enough content coming out of Neil to have in between the games and what have you. It's entertaining as hell.
You know what? He's my tournament MVP. Neil definitely
Always.
is. Well, guys, considering that we're in Spain, I think we need to get a little bit Spanish up in here. We've got the props out, but we're going to have a little Spanish-themed quiz. I've got 3 questions for you guys. Big points on the line here.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with question number 1. What? Oh, actually, no. A change of events, a sudden change of events. We're actually going to do news first. We're going to end on the Spanish quiz, but I think that is definitely going to be a peak for you guys. I'm going to give you guys some time for a little bit more thinking time about Spain, you know, about what you know,
Spain.
about the history. But we've got a little bit of news. Obviously, we were talking about it in the back poster. There's going to be a lot of rumored roster changes coming around. Are there any in particular that you are looking forward to?
I guess the one that I'm looking forward to the most is the possibility of Avangard joining VP, then potentially the old VP lineup maybe doing another merger 2.0 with Illuminar. Because, you know, we have to think about Illuminar merging with Ago and XCOM, and their whole intention is to become another Polish powerhouse and bring Poland back on the map. I think these Illuminar guys are super talented, and the possibility of that happening is pretty likely, I would imagine. So I'm crossing my fingers for that one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we also we spoke about Big as well. Potential rumor changes coming in there.
Yeah.
That may or may not be accelerated by their sort of early exit from this tournament as well.
Exactly, yeah. And the thing is before this tournament, I spoke with Sevilla about it, and he seemed confident enough that it wasn't going to happen. So maybe that rumor may or may not be true, as you said, Freya, but the possibility of, because these Sprout players are talented. We saw Searson, we saw Keto, but then the big guys are talented as well. It's just a matter of what exactly is the problem in that roster. And if they don't find that out soon, I think it's probably a little worrisome.
Yeah, I've always been surprised that Searson wasn't picked up by Big, even initially. Like, when Smooya first joined, even though it was very successful, he was always the man. I was like, he just seems so sick. And from what I heard, I think when Big actually bought out players, I think they had the choice between Tizian and Searson. So I I think they made a choice to go for Tizian instead.
Okay, very, very
Don't know how
interesting.
true that is.
Yeah.
Just rumors.
Well, you know, this is the rumor mill.
Just
we're
rumors.
stirring the pot here. But of course, we kind of were speaking about it earlier. 2020 is going to be a huge year for Counter-Strike. There are so many tournaments coming up. Obviously, the roster changes as well, potentially rumored. Bentet. That's the guy I forgot. We haven't spoken about
so
him yet.
happy.
Ferdinand.
Yeah, you don't want to call him Bentet, do you?
No,
You
not
like his real
Bentet. I
name
think
too
all
much.
casters need to call him Hansel Ferdinand in that server at all times.
It doesn't quite roll off the tongue quite as well.
It's okay, because if you have a name like Hansel Ferdinand, you don't care. You don't care. You're good
and it's
to
going
go.
to be Hansel Ferdinand moving into the site. Like,
That's amazing. I love
it's a
the
bit
name.
tougher.
I love the name.
Yeah, exactly. Well, obviously we can see the little video we've got up here is ESL Pro Tour, and of course DreamHack Open is coming along with that. There's some big changes going into this because obviously the winners of DreamHack Opens will then get a spot in Masters, which is huge because you've seen some of the smaller, sort of lower tier teams coming through these open events that have really sort of catapulted to stardom. You kind of spoke about Ents earlier, didn't you, Costa?
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to change the entire dynamic, I think, of Opens next year. You know, I spoke about the teams elevating their play from the beginning of 2019. Now we're in December, man. There was 5 teams here that should have, could have, and would have gotten that first place trophy. The competitiveness coming out of all of these teams, once like the MIBRs, the Avangards, these teams start coming to Opens more often because that's a potential qualifier. That's 100K. There's so many pluses to attend these Opens in order to get your foot in the door. And I think it's just going to elevate the competition even more.
Well, especially when players, at least nowadays, they seem to really hate the online circuit a lot of the time. Like, they don't want to be playing these qualifiers again and again and again. If you can sort of skip that step, you go, okay, I can go to an open, I have the chance to win 100K, and also I then qualify for a 250K.
Right.
And then if I win that, I qualify for $1 million event. Like, it literally, it just makes everything so beautiful. It's like they've neatened everything up. I think that's the best way to put it.
Exactly. I'm so excited to see what 2020 brings for Counter-Strike. It's going to be a huge year. And obviously some of the teams we're going to be seeing going into this as well. A lot of the teams coming from this event even. I mean, I'm excited to see what North are going to do. They're kind of been saying it's been a year of struggle for them. Now ending 2019 on a high. I'm wondering what kind of practice they're going to be getting in over the player break and what we're going to be seeing from them come January.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think coming into this event, we didn't actually expect as much as maybe we should have done. Consider, like, that's what we always talk about with this team. Like, for years, it's been the potential's there, the potential's there, the potential. And luckily this time, we actually saw a lot of it. Like, Kirby playing lights out a lot of the time. Like, we saw step-ups even in the final from Yugi, who was, again, fairly, like, underwhelming throughout the tournament. If they can get this team actually working as it should, they could be, like, that top 10, maybe even further in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now we are ready to get into our quiz. You guys have had some time to put your Spanish hats on.
Can I have a look at that card?
I mean, you may or may not have already
looked at it, Tom.
sneaked a little peek. Totally my bad. He wasn't cheating. I'm just going to put it out there.
Look at this. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yes, this is the quiz answer. So we're going to be starting off. You may or may not have seen this answer already, but, you know, pretend you haven't, Tom. I'm so sorry. So question number 1. What do Spaniards eat at New Year's to get good luck for the year to come?
Go on, Potter.
Can I
think you
ask
got
a
this
question?
one.
Is it on? Is the answer here?
Ooh, I like your thinking.
I wonder.
No.
What,
It's
do you know what's in
not.
the red basket?
This
I
isn't
haven't seen it.
Okay. Okay. Let's do 12 grapes at a time. Huh. I'm going with C.
Oh, I
Final
didn't
answer.
realize that they were going to put multiple choice because I was going to make the joke of 11 grapes because I already knew the answer. So you
Wait, am I right?
You are
Yeah,
correct.
you are correct.
Potter. It is 12 grapes at a time. And I've heard that you actually have to put all 12 grapes in your mouth.
I'm so disappointed we
at
don't
the
have
same
grapes.
Yeah, because then we could totally test it.
Wait, I don't see any grapes.
We don't.
No, we don't.
Oh,
we don't have
okay,
them.
okay.
You can
That's what
try
you're
and
saying.
fit.
Heartbroken.
Sorry,
You
it
have to do
just-
12 peppers. That's your task.
I don't know about that one.
Okay, now the real questions start. Tom, you're totally fresh-faced coming
Yeah,
into
I
this.
actually don't know now.
How many official languages are there in Spain?
Oh.
Is it multiple choice?
It is multiple choice. You have answer A is 1, B 2, or C 4. And we've actually listed the languages as well. So if you're a linguist at home, you will know the answer to this one definitely.
A.
A.
I'm going B.
B. You're both wrong.
Was
It's
it C?
4.
Oh, I just knew that Catalan was
Wow.
one, so.
So you just
I was
went with the one
I
that
was
said
like,
that.
it can't be 1 because Catalan's not an option. So I was like, okay, it has to be.
Process of elimination.
And I thought the other one, I hadn't heard of any of the others, so clearly I'm just an idiot.
Well, you 1 for 1. You've got
Well,
a chance
I
to
cheated
pull
at the
out.
first one. So I'm 0 for 2 at the moment.
Well, maybe this could be winner takes all with the third and final question. How many tomatoes are usually thrown at the Tomatina festival? You know, the one where they throw all the
Jesus.
tomatoes.
I was going to say like 8.
Yeah.
So
No.
it's a
These
good
are
thing
some
this is
large
multiple.
numbers.
You can't make it. I've got bad picked on you.
You're just wrong. You just. Oh,
I'm going with
interesting.
B. There you go. That's,
Go with B.
This is still not B
Incorrect.
either.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Oh,
C.
C.
Correct.
Correct. Yay!
I think
Congratulations,
it's rigged.
Potter. Knows the most about Spain. Your prize is you get to force Tom to eat one of these foods. Which one's it going to be?
How much do I like you, Tom?
Hopefully enough to not choose the one item or 2 of the items I don't
You know
want
what?
to eat.
We'll play it safe. How about you eat one of those breadsticks over there?
Oh, I was at least going to go for the cheese because that
The
could be
cheese?
interesting.
Okay,
I'll
go for the cheese
cheese.
and breadstick together. See, I'm on your side. I want you to have a nice flavor
Well, this
combination.
cheese is a bit
know?
more.
But can you act
Rubbery.
like
Oh, okay.
Don't you want a
This
bit
is
as well?
it.
I heard you love cheese.
I love cheese. You know what? If you know me, you know I love cheese. Oh, look at that. Look at that crisp, clean
that was
bite.
crispy? That was really crispy.
And of course, to round off the
It's
Spanish
actually not bad.
celebrations,
All right, the rest
you're going
of
to
that.
teach us how to play. I can't even pronounce it. I thought it was castanet. It's not.
I mean, the
Pick the
English
loudest
word is
food.
castanet.
Oh, okay. So I
Yeah.
wasn't
It's so
totally wrong.
crunchy.
What is it in Spanish?
Castellano, I think.
Castellano.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever
Castellano.
played these before?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Wait.
every
Wait,
Tuesday.
we're going to
try
get a masterclass. You've been
All right.
practicing this all day long.
I have.
I mean-
I have. I've been doing
Thank
it
you.
non-stop. Take one. Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right.
It's working. I'm making music.
I mean, you're in the right direction. All right, so the knot has to be on your thumb.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, you have like a double knot going on.
Oh.
No, no,
How
yeah.
did that happen? Oh, I see.
Wait, how did you do
I
that?
get it, I get it.
So
There you
you
go.
first, let's...
Oh, I'm so dumb.
Exactly.
That actually kind of
So
works.
first, the knot has to be on top, and then
Okay.
you insert your thumb again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
My fingers are too fat to fit in,
Yeah,
to
really
fit in
fat.
here. What the heck?
Go try this
And then
one.
you have it like holding like this. And then you press it.
How have I already messed
on.
this up?
This is how we would do it
Okay,
in
I think
Texas.
I'm going this
There
way.
you go.
There
And
you
then
go.
yeah, just like
Oh, I
that.
thought-
There you go.
I thought it was going to be way more
And then you
complicated than
bend
that.
your thumb just a bit.
Yeah.
Give it some space,
Oh.
and then you press. There you go.
No,
That's
wait.
it.
Oh my god, Amas, thank you
Oh,
so
that's-
much.
that's it.
Oh,
I get the second one
I've
going.
totally lost it.
You had it for a second, though.
There you go. There you go.
I got taught to use chopsticks for the first time the other day by James Bardolph.
How did it
I know,
go?
yeah, horribly. Absolutely horribly. We went
Did
out
you
for
just end up
sushi.
just stabbing it
Yeah,
into
literally.
stuff?
It was literally just like that. It was disgusting. But I think I might have got the hang of this. Thank you so much for teaching us.
It may be one of the most basic things ever, but you know, take the small
You're doing a
victories.
double.
He's dual
Look
wielding.
at this.
Yeah, because it's really easy.
But the idea
You're
is that you
dual
use
wielding the
like a
Catalianos.
seduction technique. So you have to, be
Oh.
mysterious about it.
I don't like
So-
how you're locking eyes with me here. Like, I'm gonna look away.
Well, thank you so much for rounding off our true Spanish experience. Okay, thank you so much for teaching us how to do that.
Oh,
And
yeah,
thank you
forgot
guys
my
at
cheese.
home for joining us for the final Caffeine Overtime show of DreamHack Open 2019. It's been my absolute pleasure to join you today. Thank you so much to my wonderful guests. I hope you've had a fun time, forcing you to eat stuff and forcing you to play musical instruments.
The end of the cheese is not anywhere near as nice as the rest.
No.
Just thought I'd let you know.
Cheese is-
This bit is not nice.
Well, thank you for that input, Tom. And thank you so much for everybody joining us at home. We will see you in 2020.